Hello, yes, and welcome back here to Prior's Flat. So you can join us again here. We weren't going to come back on till 7 o'clock, but after the drinks break there, Tynedale have moved to 89 for 1. Matthew Erskine with you here in Cricket West Tyne. So we're back with you for this match. Still 181 shy of the victory target, Tynedale, and we've had 27 overs now. So a couple of overs break we've had there for while the players had their drinks break. And now Tom Cantis up there at the non-striker's end, and it's going to be Meadows to bowl to Crichton. And Meadows inside the balls, and an inside edge, and the ball races up for 4. And Tynedale have got a piece of luck as well there. Umpire Wilburn just signals 4, and the score goes up to 93 for 1 now. And the gap for victory comes down to 177. And here's Meadows again now. On the way, and bowls to Crichton, who chops this one away, and that's a good stop, a diving stop there in the gully. And there's no run on that one. It's still 93 for 1. Crichton 26 not out. Seemed to enjoy his drink of blackcurrant or orange juice there. Now here's Crichton again, facing Meadows. Meadows bowls, and Crichton just plays that one late, down again towards that gully position. Or wide gully it is there, and quite deep as well. And it's picked up, so there's no run again. And still 93. Crichton still 26 not out. Meadows moves in now. Loops one up, and there's another inside edge. A drive attempted there from Crichton, and it scuttles off towards backward of square leg there. And it's Smith who picks it up, so he gets 1 run nonetheless. It moves the score to 94. And now gap's down to 176 in the 28th over here. Meadows moves in. Flatter ball this time, and Kant's driving up towards the boundary, is he? No, there's a fielder out there from wide long off, and there's a out. He's been run out. Crichton's run out. What a bit of fielding from down at long off. It was Sinclair who threw it in, I think. Yes. A direct hit from about 60 yards there, 50 or 60 yards, and they were going for 2, and it's Crichton who's been run out at this near end, and the finger went up straight away from umpire Wilburn, so Tynedale lose their second wicket, and it's Crichton who's gone at 427. It's now 95 for 2, Tynedale. 95 for 2, and as we did in the first innings here, we've had a run out for the second wicket. It was Meadows for Swalwell in the first innings, and now it's Jamie Crichton who's been run out for 27 in the 28th over here, with Tynedale still needing 175 to win. And that last shot, it was Canton who drove off the back foot past the left hand of extra cover. Straight extra cover there, out towards the corner of the tennis courts, and Crichton turned, and he wasn't quick enough to get back. An excellent throw there from Sinclair, a direct hit from that distance. But Meadows moves in to bowl to Kant, who drives it on the full up towards us here at long on, and Phillips picks it up, and there's just 1 run to Kant. And that's the end of the over. The new batsman, by the way, in for Tynedale is Ewan Stevenson. And he's had 8 times at the crease for Tynedale this year in the league. Average of 27 with 1 not out. 191 runs, highest score 57, 250s so far, including that excellent innings last week against Brighton. But it's going to be Kant who takes the strike, with Tynedale 95 for 2 and Kant 44 not out. So it's going to be Smith to bowl again, and it's going to be there's going to be 1 slip, a backward point, a cover point, an extra cover, a deep cover, a long off, a mid on, and a mid wicket, and a deep square leg. And Kant drives this one back down the pitch, and it's picked up quickly there. This is the 29th over. And Tynedale 95 for 2. Here's Smith again. Bowles cants forward in defence and just opens the face on that one, and the ball rolls out there to backward point, and it's picked up. I think it's Saxton in there who picks that one up. He'll still have a bit left to bowl. But here's Smith again now. In he comes and bowls, and Cant's driving off the back foot, and they're not going to get one this time, although Stevenson wanted it. It's fielded quickly in there with extra cover, and there's no run again. Smith picks the ball up. Now he's back at the end of his run, so it's going to be Smith to Cant. One slip in place. Cant back again and drives through the gap between point and extra cover there up towards the boundary, and there's a single up to the deep fielder by the house end there, and Cant moves to 46 and the score goes to 97, and the gap comes down to 173 to win for Tynedale. So the left-handed Stevenson, he hit a 50 against Swalwell last year here, and that 50 last week, so he's in good form at the moment. He's going to have one slip, the left-hander, and a big gap round the corner here, right the way around from deep forward square leg, and he's hit him on the pad, and now he's given him out, LBW, and Stevenson is out. He didn't move his feet, and it struck him on the pad, and it's whizzed out. The ball went out to the offside, and umpire Gordon it is who gives him out, LBW, and Tynedale have lost their third wicket, and it's Stevenson who is gone for naught in the 29th over, and it's Smith with the wicket. So the third Tynedale wicket goes down here at 97, with still 173 needed, or now 7 wickets for Swalwell to win. And the Swalwell fielders all gather out there, and out comes Callan McCabe. He makes his way quickly out to the middle there. The two umpires just have a chat, and now the Swalwell fielders break from their little huddle, their group chat up there in the middle just by the pitch. We've lost the sun now. It's Callan McCabe who's about to take guard at this near end, and it'll be Smith to bowl. And here we are. 7 wickets for Swalwell to take. Tynedale 97 for 3. 31 overs left after this one. 21 overs, I beg your pardon. And still 173 to get. Now here's Smith again. He's in and bowls. And a play and a miss outside the off stump that time, with McCabe going forward there to a well pitched ball from Smith. And that's the end of the over. The last ball there, no runs off it. Tynedale needing 270 to win, or still 173 off that target. They're 97 for 3 after 29 overs, with Cant 46 not out, and McCabe yet to score after the early departure there of Ewan Stevenson for a duck when the score was at 97. And McCabe, it is at the non-striker's end, so it's going to be Cant again to face up to John Meadows, the right arm spin bowler. He moves in away from us over the wicket. A little quicker ball then. Cant plays back up to the deep cover boundary over to the left by the tennis courts for a single. And the score moves along to 98 for 3 now. Cant goes to 47, and the gap comes down to 172. Second ball here. 30th over. McCabe on strike. McCabe, 8 innings, 8 times at the crease, an average of 73, with 3 not outs from 367 runs he scored, and that was a bit of a floppy shot there. He leant across, he toppled over trying to play that cut shot and played a miss through to Corby, the wicketkeeper, so no run there. Now here's Meadows again, and he comes, or in he goes and bowls, and that's a good length, and this time McCabe drives it back to him and he picks it up, and there's no run. 98 for 3. McCabe looking to get off the mark here. A good length again from Meadows, and McCabe just turns this one to mid-wicket, where it's picked up by Hewison there in close. 4 pitches away from the one we're actually playing on here. But here's Meadows again, bowling to McCabe, and he turns that one up the leg side, very fine, and it's Smith who fields. Leg bye signalled that time by umpire Wilburn. So 1 more to the total. 99 for 3 now, Tynedale. 171 the gap for victory. Change in the field for Kant. Are they going to see if he'll go over the top here, tempting him? Long off and long on inside the circle now. And Kant drives, not for 1, because they wanted it there, but it goes straight to Phillips down here at mid-on, and that's the end of the over. So Kant kept up at that top end, so he can keep him away from the strike. The field closed in there and it did its job. So at the end of the 30th, it's 99 for 3 Tynedale, needing 270 to win. They're 171 shy of the target at the moment. Kant at the non-striker's end, 47, and it's Smith going to bowl again, and he's going to bowl to Callan McCabe, the right-hander, with 1 slip, a backward point, an orthodox point as well as Smith bowls, and McCabe just pushes that out there to Hewison, who does a rather theatrical roll as he dives down to get that one, and he picks it up and throws it back to Smith, who's back at his mark. Now he's going to come in towards us here. Here he comes and bowls. McCabe's back in his crease, playing for 1 up to mid-off there, and there's a misfield. Was that Meadows who got that one? I think it was. He just got it there, and he seems to have bust a gut trying to get that one. So 1 more to the total. McCabe gets off the mark, and that's the 100 up for Tynedale. And now it's 170 to win, 7 wickets to take for the visitors Swalwell here. Kant on strike. The right-hander, 1 slip in the gully still, long off and long on back there. Kant plays this one defensively from the crease, and the ball just rolls out to the leg side, and there's no run. Smith picks it up, and the bowler, and walks quickly back to his mark there. And we've probably got the most blue sky we've seen all day in Hexham at the moment. Now here we go. A drive, and he's got it. Oh, he's caught and bowled. What a brilliant catch. Kant, it was a full ball, and Kant drove it. And Smith, diving low to his left, has picked it out the air, and the smile on his face says all you need to know about that one. And the Tynedale captain has gone for 47. Tynedale now 100 for 4 in the 31st over, still 170 shy of the target here of 270. And the player Kant moves off, and in comes the new batsman, Josh Renton. And he makes his way out there now to join Callan McCabe. So the 4th wicket goes down at 100 for Tynedale. And it's Smith who has got his 3rd wicket. A fabulous caught and bowled. Diving low down to his left there. So he's about to bowl again. And Renton taking his guard now off umpire Gardner. And he's just marking his guard with his boot there. Just scrapes a bit of dust up, then sweeps it away with his bat. And now here's Smith again, and he comes towards us now and bowls. Renton jams the bat down on a full ball there, which was on the stumps, and the ball rolls up there to Smith, and he picks it up just on the offside and makes his way back to his mark. He's here now, and he comes 3 wickets already this afternoon to his name. Moves in now and bowls, and there's Renton playing back up there to the second of 2 extra covers, the straighter of the 2, and there's no run, and that's the end of the 31st over. And it's Tynedale 100 for 4, still 170 short of the target here. 6 wickets now for Swalwell to take, and it's McCabe who's 1 not out, and Josh Renton who's yet to score. And while we have this break, we'll hear from one of our sponsors.
Hello and welcome to the Cricket West Time programme on Spreaker Online Radio, brought to you by Experts in Business, our #1 in business consultancy. For all your business needs, visit www.expertsinbusiness.co.uk or find them on social media.
Here we go now. Here's Meadows to take up the attack for Swalwell. And he goes bowling to McCabe, and that struck him on the pad, and there's an appeal, but umpire Wilburn declines it, and the ball shot out onto the offside behind square there, and it's picked up quickly. So there's no run, still 100 for 4. McCabe it is, on strike from Meadows. Fuller ball this time for Meadows, and McCabe is forward and plays an orthodox defensive shot back down the pitch there, and it's picked up quickly by Meadows the bowler. And he's quickly back to his mark. Here he goes in again over the wicket. And that struck McCabe on the batting pad again, drifting down the leg side this time. And it goes 2 leg, but it's picked up by the wicketkeeper there, Corby, and there's no run again. Here's McCabe, faces up now from Meadows. Swings at this one off the back foot and drives it straight back down the pitch, just slightly to the offside, and Meadows is down quickly and picks it up on the 3rd bounce there. And here he goes in again, quickly through his overs here. Meadows in, swings to the off this time does McCabe, but he hits it straight along the ground there, and it's fielded in at extra cover. It was a fuller ball this time from Meadows, and it got up quite a bit, and McCabe was on the back foot when he played it, but a nice bit of fielding down on the ground there. Meadows in again now, swings a full toss away to the leg side, and he's going to get 4 for it, across to the house end, and it just strikes the new fence round the garden there and bounces back in. So 4 to McCabe at the end of the over there, and it's now 104 for 4 Tynedale after 32, and that brings the gap now down to 166, or 6 wickets for Swalwell to take. Smith to bowl again at the top end. Quite a breeze out there now. We've lost the sun altogether. Still 1 or 2 over at the pizza van. Now Meadows moves in. Smith, I beg your pardon, moves in to Renton, and he defends this one behind square on the offside, and it's picked up quickly, and there's no run. Renton on strike, still yet to score. Hit a nice 20, quick 20 last week, as in comes Smith again, and he turns that one to the leg side up towards square leg at the tennis courts, and it's picked up, and there's a single there to Renton, which takes the score to 105, and the gap comes down now to 165. And here's Smith again now. Moves in towards McCabe, who's back in his crease, and he hits this one to leg, up on the ground, and it's picked up by Sinclair down there at the tennis courts again and thrown in. So McCabe gets a single. 164 now the gap. 106 for 4 the score. Here's Smith again now. Just pushed to the leg side this time by Renton, and there's no run. Collected by Hewison in there at mid-wicket. And the rate now down to just over 5 and over. Smith to Renton, who chops the ball down this time into the offside, and it's fielded again at that second extra cover there. So we've got a slip, a backward point, a cover point, 2 extra covers, a mid-off, a mid-on, a deep square leg, and a mid-wicket. And there's Renton, who gets this one away, but it doesn't beat the infield there. Fielded in at cover point, and there's no run again. So it's 106 for 4. And I'll just, that's the end of the over. So it's 106 for 4. Tynedale still 164 short of the total here, with 17 overs to go here. And I beg your pardon, miscalculated a bit there. The run rate, not 5, it's up at just about 9.5 now for Tynedale. 164 of 17 here, they need. And we've got a change of bowler. Meadows has been replaced by Nicky Phillips for his second spell, and he's going to bowl to Colin McCabe. And McCabe not yet set. 6 not out. There's a big gap over the top of mid-wicket, right round from deep mid-wicket, right round to behind long on here. If he can get it over the head of Hewison, there'll be a chase on for whichever fielder decides to go after it. But it's Smith there, comes a little straight of it, short fine legs. In goes Phillips now and bowls, and McCabe just turns that for 1 out towards backward square leg, and they get it, and it's fielded now and thrown in. The score goes to 107, which takes the gap down now to 163. It's all change for Renton, the right-hander, who just takes his guard off umpire Wilburn. So they're still 2 deep to the leg side. We've got nobody deep to the offside at the moment. Fine leg and third man vacant. Now deep backward square leg across at the house end, just moves a little to his right. As in goes Phillips again now and bowls to Renton, who tries to turn it away. He's looking for that gap down there, but it strikes his pad and goes to the leg side, and it's the wicket keeper who picks it up there, and there's no run. So 107 now, Tynedale for 4. Here goes Phillips again, in he goes. Bowls, drops it short this time, and Renton's back, cutting away up towards the boundary. He's going to get 4 out to the tennis courts there, and it's picked up by a spectator over there at the tennis courts and thrown back in. So 111 for 4 now the score, Tynedale. That takes the gap down now to 159. And it's Phillips again who has the ball. He's about to bowl to Renton. He moves in and bowls, and Renton, yes, he hasn't hit that gap. He turned it to the leg side, but he just hit it a little bit too straight there, and there's a man in there just forward at square leg, and it went straight to him along the ground, so there's no run. Here's Phillips again, and he goes bowling to Renton, who tries to dig a full one out, and it's going up for 4, and we'll see a bye called there by the umpire Wilburn. So 4 byes to the total. It's 115 now for 4 Tynedale, and that takes the gap down now to 155. The men out so far, Dan Parker, Ewan Stevenson, Tom Cant and Jamie Crichton. In moves Phillips again now to Renton, and he tries to cut a ball away and a little too close to off stump there. And has he bowled him? Yes, he's out. And I didn't see it there. The bails are off. Yes, Renton's out. Bowled, trying to cut away a ball too close to the stumps there. And Tynedale have lost their 5th wicket. And it's Renton who's gone for 5, bowled by Phillips. And that's the 5th Tynedale wicket to fall. 3 to Smith, 1 to Phillips, and 1 run out so far, with still 155 needed here. So just 5 wickets now for Swalwell to take. And it's Rainford, the new batsman, who's going in with 155 needed. And we're in the 34th over here, so 16 to go after this one. He's in to join McCabe. And Rainford, the right-hander, he's still carrying a little injury. I think Sam Mannion is back from the hospital. I think I saw him run under the field with a bottle of water before for somebody. But with that sore hand, I don't know if he's going to bat or not. But McCabe's about to face Smith from the top end there towards us. Here he comes now, bowling to McCabe. He's in and bowls, and McCabe turns it down towards the tennis courts. Square leg, where Sinclair picks it up now and throws in. And Smith just gathers it, throws into the bowler there, does Sinclair. And Rainford it is who takes his guard off umpire Gardner. There's a couple of flies buzz about us here in the clubhouse. Rainford now just sets himself. Here's Smith in. Rainford just defends the first one out to extra cover there, and there's no run. It's 116 for 5. Smith gets the ball again. He's going to bowl over the wicket now to Rainford. Rainford pulls it for 4 out to the deep mid-wicket boundary in the tennis courts there, and he gets off the mark with a ball dropped short there, and it sat up quite, didn't have much pace about it, and Rainford, if he didn't quite time it 100%, he certainly got on enough on it to beat Sinclair, who was running round to his left from deep square leg across at the tennis courts there. So 4 more to the total. That takes it now down to 150 for Tynedale to win, or 5 wickets for Swalwell to take. Smith to bowl. Rainford drives for 4 up to the extra cover boundary, up at the house end this time, the other side, and up towards Prior's Flat. So he got down a good stride in there, and wasn't quite a half volley. An excellent shot there from Rainford. It moves it to 124. So it's 146 now to win for Tynedale, and Rainford's played it behind square. Sinclair just jogs round to get that one, and Rainford moves up the other end for a single, and Corby does well to take that one above his head, left-handed. So 1 more to the total. That takes it to 145 needed by Tynedale now. The score 125 for 5 in the 35th. Here's Smith again, moves forward towards us here to bowl. Callan McCabe is on the back foot, playing up to Meadows there at deep mid-off, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. The end of the 35th, 125 for 5 Tynedale. Still 145 short of the target here, and umpire Wilburn just moves in to take Phillips's cap. And McCabe and Rainford have a little chat there, just eyeing this one up. So we've got 15 overs now. So we've got 90 balls here. 90 balls, and Tynedale need 145. So Phillips bowls to Rainford at the start of the new over, and Rainford just plays it out there to extra cover to the left. So we're down to 89 balls now. Phillips again bowls to Rainford, who again comes forward and hits it out to the offside, but doesn't really leave the playing area there, and Phillips is round to get that one. No run off that ball. Now here's Phillips again. Moves in and bowls to Rainford, who plays back to this one and hits it more or less in the same place up there to extra cover. Maybe just a little squarer that time, but there was no run. 145 off 87 now. Rainford looks for the next one from Phillips, and he plays a full one on the leg side this time, straight. And up here to Meadows at deep mid on, and there's no run. 86 balls left now, 145 for Tynedale. In moves Phillips again, and Rainford turns this one to square leg this time, or just behind. And again there's no run. 85 balls left now, 145 needed. by Tynedale or 5 wickets for Swalwell to take here. Phillips turns again at the end of his run. In he goes to Rainford, who goes back and plays to point along the ground, and that's the end of the over. And the score now is Tynedale 125 for 5. Still needing 145 to win. They require them runs of 84 balls. And here's Saxton going to come back on. He's just handing his cap to Bob Gardner up at that top end. And no wickets for Saxton yet this afternoon. The wickets have fallen to Smith 3, Phillips 1, and there's been 1 run out. And they've fallen at 57, 95, 97 and 100 and 115. Kant the top scorer in the innings so far with 47. McCabe to face the first ball of the new over from Saxton with 2 slips and a gully. And that's turned round the corner up towards fine leg. They've run through for 1. And there was some bat in that. So 1 to McCabe there. He goes to 9 and the score goes to 126. So 144 the gap now of 83 balls. Rainford on strike. They're still keeping 2 slips and a gully. And a backward point. And a cover point, an extra cover, mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket. As well as in comes Saxton again and bowls to Rainford, who drives off the back foot but straight along the ground there to cover point, and there's no run. So 82 balls now for Tynedale to get these 144 runs, or for Swalwell to take these 5 wickets. Saxton up at the top end. No sun left here now at Prior's Flat. In he comes, bowling to Rainford. Rainford again just goes forward and defends out to extra cover, and this another ball goes down, another dot ball, 81 remaining, still 144 needed here. And the Tynedale, can't see any Tynedale players walking about the field at the moment. We've still got the spectators on the decking to our right. They've thinned out on the benches across to the Kingsgate Terrace side there. As it's Saxton again now, who moves in to bowl to Rainford, who cuts it high over backward point, and it'll run away for 4. It rolls up now to the boundary and crosses the line now. 4 more to the total there, and Rainford got hold of that one, got enough on it to lift it over Hewison there at backward point, quite close in. So 4 to the total, 140 now for Tynedale to win off 80 balls. 140 off 80. Here's Saxton now, and it's so to Swalwell's advantage to have somebody like Saxton bowl. He's bowled him, he's out. He went for the big drive, and the ball has knocked his off stump back, and the bails go flying, and Tynedale have lost their 6th wicket at 130. It's Rainford who's bowled, and there's Saxton's first wicket of the afternoon, and that is Rainford bowled at 130. And it was just bowled straight from Saxton, and Rainford went for the big drive, and he didn't get there, and the ultimate consequence is that he's been bowled, which brings Sam Peter to the crease. And I think there'll be 1 ball left in Saxton's over, and Tynedale here still need 140, with now just 4 wickets remaining and 79 balls to get them in. Sam Peter goes out to join McCabe. 130 for 6 now, Tynedale. So, Sam Peter, the new batsman. No, that was the end of the over, was it? No, we've got 1 ball left in this one. Umpire Gardner just gives the ball back to Saxton up there, so we're still going to have 2 slips, a backward point, a cover point, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and I think Nicky Phillips there is going to stay at mid-wicket for the right-handed Sam Peter. So here we go now, here he is, facing up to Saxton. Peter, it's gone fine up towards the fine leg boundary to our left here, and they're just going to keep it to 1. Are they? Yes, and there must have been some bat in that, because that's the end of the over, is it? Yes, that's the end of the over. 1 arm off the last ball there, so that takes it down now to 139, needed by Tynedale from 78 balls. 139 from 78 for Tynedale, with just 4 wickets remaining here at Priors Flat. And it's going to be Phillips to take up the attack again. Umpire Wilburn just holds the lumbar regions of his back there and has a little stretch. We've got Bob Gardner at square leg, blowing his nose at the moment. We're going to have Sam Peter on strike for his second ball it is, so they're going to have 2 deep to the leg, a deep backward square and a deep mid wicket, and 3 inside the circle. Phillips bowls now, and Peter just turns that one. They're going for 1. There's a shot at the stumps, and there's a wayward shot throw, and there's a double play because it's going for 4. 4 as well there, so that'll be 5 under the total there, I would think. They went for the single, and it was a shot from square leg, so 5 under the total there. So that takes it down to 134 with them overthrows, the 4 overthrows there, and 77 balls left now. Here's Phillips who moves in, and it's McCabe who's edged it through the vacant slip cord, and it's running up towards the 3rd man boundary. Will it get there? They're willing it on, it's not going to get there, I don't think. It's just stopped in front, and they take 3 runs. And I was going to say, we can't have our second all-run 4 of the innings, can we? I think Parker and Candid was who had an all-run 4, but 3 more to the total. So 76 balls left now, and it's 131 for Tynedale with 4 wickets remaining here. A drive there from Peter to the leg side, and it goes at 45 degrees then. Hewison's round from mid-wicket to his left to stop that one, and there's no runs scored. And now here's Sam Peter again from Phillips. It chips this one round, and it's going up for 4, I think. It'll beat the fielder to the boundary, will it? It will. It'll go for 4 up there to the fine leg boundary at the top end. And that takes the score now. The target anyway, the target for victory, and the gap down to 127. And now there's 75 balls left here. 127 off 75. In moves Phillips again now and bowls. And Sam Peter just defends this one back down to on the offside. And there's no run. So here's Phillips again now. Moves in to bowl, and there's another defensive shot. They're going to get 1 on the offside behind square there. And that's the end of the over. And 1 to the total at the end there, so that takes it down now to 126 needed of 72 balls here. 72 balls to get 126 Tynedale, but they've only got 4 wickets remaining here. Sam Peter is 11 not out already. He's only been in not long, and Colin McCabe's up there on 12. It's Sam Peter on strike. The 2 Newtons still to come. Just 1 Newton today, still to come. David Newton's the Newton brother playing today. Saxton's into Peter, who comes forward and just defends that one to the leg side. And it's Phillips who picks up there. So it remains 126 needed from 71 balls now. 126 needed from 71. Peter on strike. 11 not out. 9 innings so far this year, average of 15. Every time he's gone to the crease, highest score of 37. The right-handed Peter, 2 slips in a gully as Saxton's in again. He drives, and that's well fielded in at extra cover there. A dive and stop to the right, and it's picked up, and there's no runs. A good shot for no runs there by Sam Peter. Saxton gets the ball back. Not many. 1 or 2 people just coming in for the pizza van here at Prior's Flat at the moment. We've got spectators down at the house end, but here's Saxton in again now to Peter, and that's struck him on the pad, but I think it hit his bat first trying to play the leg there. And there's another dot ball down. It takes the balls tally down now to 70. 126 needed now from 70 balls for Tynedale, or just 4 wickets for Swalwell to take. Here's Saxton again now, moves in towards us yet again. Peter drives this time, but he doesn't time it, and it goes up there to Meadows at deep mid-off, and there's no run. And Meadows run out in his batting innings. He's had his chance at bowling this afternoon. I wonder if he'll come back any. So 69 balls left now. 126 needed. Saxton now moves in, bowling to Peter. Peter drives this one, but not very hard. Up again, a little straighter this time, but again it's Meadows who fields up there at deep mid-off, and there's no run. Meadows hangs down on one knee for just a moment, breathing air in. Now he's about to get up again. There he is. He's up on his feet again and wanders back to his mark. He's fielding right on the edge of the 30-yard circle there. Now here's Saxton again, bowling. Peter on strike. Peter chips this one to the leg side, and Sinclair will run round to deep square leg from long leg to field that one over by the tennis courts and throw in. So Peter gets a single there, and he'll take the strike at the end of the over. And the score now is 145. And 145 for 6, Tynedale. And Peter is on 12, both batsmen on 12. He and McCabe are there at the moment. So we're at 125 needed for Tynedale, and there's 11 overs to be bowled here. So 66 balls, 125 from 66. Phillips to bowl, and that's swept away high for 6 over deep backward square there by Sam Peter. A pulled drive, and he got most onto it. He got most of the bat onto it, and it swept over the head of the deep fielder across to the right and into the car park. So 6 to the total. That takes it to 151. That's up for Tynedale, and now the gap's down to 119 off 65. 119 off 65. And I tell you what, if you can keep hitting those, but I think Phillips here will maybe not give him the chance. Here's Phillips now, moves into bowl. Peter turns at the leg again, but there's a fielder there at square leg, and it remains 119 off 64 balls needed now. 151 for 6, Tynedale. 119 needed, the target for victory. 270 the target. In moves Phillips again and bowls. Peter chips it to leg again this time, and it's running between square leg and mid-wicket there, but there's a deep fielder runs in to claim it now. I think it's Anderson there who comes in to get that one, and there's 1 to the total, which takes the gap down now to 118. 152 for 6, Tynedale. 152. 118 of 63 deliveries left. That's hit McCabe on the pad, and it looked a little high, and umpire Wilburn walks off towards the square position there. Not too interested in that appeal from Phillips, and he was the only one that went up. So, but another dot ball there, so 62 balls left now, 118 needed from Tynedale. McCabe, that's hit him on the pad this time, and it's another big appeal, and Phillips is trying his hardest here, but it may have got a touch on the bat there as he tried to play it away to a leg, and the ball's back with Phillips now, so 61 deliveries left now. Still at 118, the runs needed for Tynedale. A little bit of excitement out there at the end of this match as we move towards the end anyhow. Now in goes Phillips again to McCabe. McCabe's forward driving this time, but it's straight along the ground there out to extra cover, and there's no run. So that's the end of the over, that one. Last ball there, no run off the last ball, and Tynedale needing 270 to win, or 152 for 6, still requiring another 118 runs from 60 balls here at Priors Flat this afternoon. And now the sun just weakly reappears here as we move up towards 7:15. And if you did join us at 7 o'clock, you're very welcome here. You're listening to Cricket West Tyne on Spreaker Internet Radio. Match between Tynedale and Swalwell, the 15th game of the season for these two clubs. 2nd and 4th. Swalwell 2nd, Tynedale 4th before the start of the day's play. And it's going to be Saxton who's going to bowl again, and it's going to be Sam Peter on strike. Now they've lost a slip here, and they've put in a gully and 2 extra covers. Saxton bowls to Peter, who drives, and it goes straight to the nearest one of those extra covers to us here, behind third man. Hewison's in as the other one. He's closer. He's the closer of the two. He's second from the left as we look at the play here. So 59 balls now, 118 needed. Saxton it is to bowl. Up he comes. Full outside the off stump, and that's driven again, but straight to Meadows there at deep mid off, and it was a fullish ball outside the off stump, and Peter was down on one knee there driving. Had to reach for it, but he hit it soundly enough, but it didn't beat the fielder. So 58 balls now. 58 balls, 118 needed. Here's Saxton again on the way. Peter on strike. Swings and drives high over Meadows' head, and it's going up there for 4 over mid-on, and Meadows tried his best there. Dive of the highest proportions, high to his right, but he couldn't get to it, and the ball goes for 4 at the top end there. So 156 for 6 now, Tynedale. 57 balls left and 114 needed. So it's two runs a ball here for Tynedale. Chips it for 4 again this time. Peter is running up towards the tennis courts there. Over to the left, over mid-wicket. So Peter goes to 31 with that shot. And the score goes to 160 now. I beg your pardon, he goes to 27. So 56 balls left now. And the target now 110. The gap is 110 runs needed by Tynedale from 56. Saxton bowls. Peter drives straight out along the ground there to Hewison at extra cover, and there's no run. And the wickets, 6 wickets down for Tynedale, 4 to get for Swalwell. The wickets have fallen at 57, 95, 97, 100, 115 and 130. This partnership has raced along to 30 already as Saxton's into Peter now. Peter just jams the bat down on that one, and it goes past his hip out to square leg, and they'll get a single. And is that the end of the over there? Yes, it is. And 1 ball behind, so there's 54 balls left now. 54 balls left and 109 needed. 54 and 109 needed. Excuse me, it's a little tickle in the throat here. At Prior's Flat now. We're going to have Phillips again from this near end, the clubhouse end. And where are we going? We're going to have 2 deep to the leg again, a deep backward square and a deep mid wicket. As Phillips moves in again now with a slip in place. And that's, he's stumped, is he? Yes, he's gone. Peter, it is. Stumped down the leg side. That ball drifted away from him and he tried to play it away. And got enough forward for Corby to sweep across, take the ball and sweep back and take the bails. So Tynedale have lost their 7th wicket at 161. And it's Sam Peter, after a marvellous cameo innings there. He did his best, some good shots in amongst it. He goes for 28, stumped by Corby. Bowled Phillips there. He's the 7th wicket to go. And this is, it looks like Matty Scott's on his way out there to bat now. He kicks his legs up as he goes. So still 109 needed. And there's 53 deliveries left. But Tynedale now, just 3 wickets left remaining here tonight. Just 3 wickets left for Tynedale. And it's Phillips who's going to bowl to Scott. And he's up there now taking his guard. Just marks it in the ground with his right foot there. So I think all the field will be inside the circle now. Just having a look. No, we've still going 2 deep to the leg as Phillips moves into bowl. And Scott lets this one go outside the off stump and there's no run. So 161 for 7, Tynedale. The next target here, can these two get it up to 175 for another batting point here? And goes Phillips again, and Scott's forward defending. And he pushes it back along out to the offside. Not much though, and Phillips is round to pick it up. And he's back to his mark now. Moves in again away from us, bowling to Scott, who pushes a full ball out to extra cover again. And 2 left in the over here. 2 balls left in this one from Phillips. Here he goes now. Bowls to Scott, who plays and misses. And that one got some bounce from a good length. And Corby had the bails off in a flash there. But fortunately for Matty Scott, he was still in his crease. And Phillips moves back to his mark now. Here he goes again. Bowling to Scott, 1 slip. Scott forward defending, and that's the end of the over. He doesn't get a run off the last ball there, so it's still 109 needed. Now from 48 for Tynedale. But with just these 3 wickets remaining, I think these 2 will try and stay together. And with McCabe there, I think there's still plenty of chance that Tynedale may just, if he can keep the strike or form himself the strike, Tynedale can get up somewhere near 200 here. But he's got it now. So as I said, the first target to try and get to that 175 to get another batting point here. Saxton, of course, up at the top end with his 1 wicket so far. He's 2 wickets so far. He bowled Rainford as well. He moves in now. He'll be trying to get the next wicket. His next target's the wicket of McCabe or Matty Scott. That one's just driven back up the pitch, just slightly to the leg side of the bowler's umpire there, umpire Gardner, and it's fielded at mid-on, and there's no run. So here's Saxton again now, bowling to McCabe. Coming in towards us here, 1 slip in a gully. McCabe drives and he's got that one away. There's a shot at the stumps and he's out, is he? Yes, another direct hit at the bowler's end stumps, and what a throw there from extra cover point, and McCabe has run out for 12, and McCabe, He's just walking slowly. I think he hasn't. I don't think that sunk in that was another fantastic throw there from one of the Swalwell fielders in there at extra cover, and it's 161 for 8 now. Tynedale with still 109 needed, and this will be David Newton going out to bat. So there's been 2 runouts in the innings so far, 2 excellent throws, 2 direct hits. And David Newton on his way out there to join Matty Scott. And it's Saxton going to bowl from that top end. So it's not the end of the over yet. I think there's just one or two balls gone in this over. So we'll this is the 43rd over of the innings, a maximum of 50. But Newton now is that Newton? I'll just have a quick look. I don't think it may not be. Just trying to have a look there, see who it is. It's Matty Scott on strike. And yes, it's David Newton who's gone to the non-striker's end. So there's going to be 2 slips for Scott, a gully, 2 extra covers, a cover point, a mid-off, a mid-on, and 2 slips and a mid-wicket there. I've just found Phillips. In comes Saxton again. He's bowled that's 2 in a row for Saxton, and that's it. Yes, because Sam Mannion's the other batsman and he's not batting today, so that's the end of the match, and it's Swalwell who have won by 108 runs here this afternoon at Priors Flat. Tynedale still needed another 109 to win at 161 for 9. So with Sam Mannion not batting, that is the end of the match here at Priors Flat this evening on what has been a long but good day of cricket for the neutral anyway, and ultimately good for Swalwell, and Tynedale will look back on what might have been. But it's Swalwell who will win by 108 runs. And the players are just trooping off now. Tom Cant with 47, the highest score on the Tynedale innings there. Saxton with 2 wickets right at the end as well. Smith took 3 wickets. There were 2 runouts, and Phillips got the other one there. So Saxton 3 wickets, Sinclair didn't get one, Smith 3, Phillips 1, and runouts there were 2 fantastic throws and 2 direct hits. Sinclair's from about 60 yards there to run out Cant as well. So there we go, the applause out there for the Swalwell fielders as they come off, and the Tynedale batsmen. So the wickets fell 161, the last one fell at 57, 95, 97, 100, 115, 130, 161 and 161. There we go. So Swalwell win by 108 runs. We'll be back next week live from Lanchester as Tynedale firsts travel up there. The seconds are back in action too here at Priors Flat, so do come down for that 1 o'clock start in the seconds match if you want to come down here to the club. But we'll be up at Lanchester next week bringing you live commentary as usual from 2:30 in the afternoon. So do join us then here on Cricket West Tyne if you can. Just a quick mention to the county team. Tom Cant is captain in Northumberland tomorrow. They travel down to Bedford School to play Bedfordshire, and 2 Tynedale players, McCabe and Peter, making their debuts, and the team: Cant, McCarthy, Angus, Brown, Hewison, McCabe, McGee, Mussett, Peter, Simpson and Thompson. So good luck to them in their 3rd game of the Minor Counties Championship versus Bedford down at Bedford School tomorrow. It'll be a long trip down for them, but hopefully they can win their 1st game. It's their 3rd championship 3-day game, so hopefully they can come away with a win there. But from Priors Flat tonight, we'll leave you, I think, there as the players are about to come through to have a drink in the club afterwards on not quite an overcast evening here. No sun tonight at Friars Flat, but with a pizza van in full swing as well. I think I'll just let you go now with Tynedale losing. Well, Swalwell winning by 108 runs. They made 269 in their innings, and Tynedale were 161 for 9, with Sam Mannion unable to bat because of a hand injury. So Swalwell win by 108 runs. So from Friars Flat, it's good night for now, and I'll speak to you again next week live from Lanchester, the usual time, 2:30. See you soon. Speak to you again next Saturday.